Good morning, Haley. It's Friday, and I just got back from a resort in Southern California. During which I bought this hat, which I thought was hilarious because I was in Southern California and it had a, Northern California theme on it. It's also a snapback. Snapbacks and tattoos, snapbacks and... Excuse my temporary blackness, but I'm really glad to be back in Oakland. Like, I can't even understand what you're going through in Lincoln, California, because I really can't think of a better place to be right now than the Bay Area. I mean, it could just be the abundance of open Wi-Fi, or it could just be, home, but I really miss this place. Like, I couldn't even watch your video until like 10 minutes ago. So now that I know that you've told me that it's Geek Week, I'm going to do something that I've kind of always wanted to do on YouTube. Magic the Gathering tutorial. So if you paid any attention to me at all during senior year, which I'm sure you did, then you know I'd be obsessed with a card game called Magic the Gathering. This actually isn't Magic the Gathering. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Case, but I gave... Trudeau, my Magic the Gathering case. But there are Magic the Gathering cards in it. I mean, you can't really tell from here, but these are Magic the Gathering cards. So my favorite part of Magic the Gathering is it isn't just a card game. Like, you aren't just a player playing with your deck. In Magic the Gathering, you're a planeswalker. Each player is a planeswalker, and his deck is his library. The idea is that each planeswalker goes to plane collecting spells for his library. And, planeswalkers fight for supremacy. So I'm not going to bore you with, step specifics and ban card lists because, well, you don't play Magic the Gathering. But I am going to give you the basics. Like, for instance, this is called land. And you kind of need land to play this game at all. Again, because Magic the Gathering is so special, the idea is that you need to make a land for your creatures to stand on. And the land that the creatures stand on, you draw mana from. Mana is the magical energy that you draw out as a planeswalker to create amazing things and summon powerful creatures. So there are 5 types of lands, which means there are 5 different kinds of mana. There is black mana, which comes from swamps. There is white mana that comes from plains. There are red mana, which comes from mountains. There is green mana that comes from forests, and blue mana that comes from islands. Each different kind of mana has its own characteristic. Just for instance, blue mana is one of my favorite because it is actually designed to, mess with the actual rules of the game, which is fun. If you want to know more of them, I'm going to leave a link in the doobly-doo to Friday Night Magic and all the Magic the Gathering stuff. Now you've got all this mana. What are you supposed to do with it? Other than planes, there are 3 other kinds of cards. There are creatures, which have their own mana cost and sound exactly the way they are. They have a point value in this corner here. I don't know if it'll focus enough, but one of them is its strength, which is how much damage it does, and the other, if I can figure out how to cover it without covering, okay, I can. The other is its toughness and how much damage it can take. Sorceries, which, just make things happen. For instance, Pillar of Flames says you deal 2 damage to a target creature or player, blah, blah, blah. And instants that also make things happen. The difference between a sorcery and an instant is an instant can be played at any time, and a sorcery can only be played during your turn. So now I'm back home from a resort that pretty much catered to my every whim, and I have responsibilities, so I'm going to have to end this video now. I will upload it soon, Haley. Don't have a heart attack, and I will see you on Tuesday.